Hi everyone, Christine with Mountain Rose Herbs. I am the products manager and aromatherapist on staff. Today we are going to be talking about Cacao Absolute, which is a solvent extraction from Theobroma cacao beans. The Absolute itself at 100% is almost solid at room temperature and really difficult to work with. So this liquid is actually blended with 50% organic ethanol so that you have a very pourable and measurable product to work with. That blend results in a really dark fluid liquid that's going to pour easily. You're going to be able to measure it. It's going to come out of the reducer in your essential oil bottle. The aroma for this oil is a really intoxicating, characteristic dark chocolate scent. Very bitter, very sweet and rich. It has earthy undertones to it. And even though this is 50% ethanol, you can't smell that part of it. You can really just smell the rich, dark chocolate part of this Absolute. And it is quite tenacious. Really strong, a fun product to work with. It's mostly going to be used for fragrance. There's not a whole lot of aromatherapy purposes with this oil besides the fact that it smells amazing. It is strong and overpowering, is considered a chocolatey base note. There are a few difficulties blending with it because of the nature that it's an Absolute and that has ethanol blended in it already. The color is going to be one of them. It's really rich and dark, so that is going to affect any finished products that you're working with. Although that might be good or bad depending on what you're using and what you're making. When you're blending it with other essential oils, it can actually take a couple days to kind of meld with them and make a more fluid oil again. You might see it kind of sitting at the bottom of your bottle for a little bit. But mixing it up over a few days is going to work it well into other oils. You might even consider, if you're going to use this Cacao Absolute and another essential oil blend, adding them to your finished product separately. It's going to result in a better blend for you and might make things a little easier. As far as solubility goes for this Absolute, it is 100% soluble in alcohol. This is just a few drops of the Cacao Absolute in pure grain alcohol, and it's sort of a light color, still tinted brown from the Absolute, but it is a clear liquid. So alcohol-based perfumes are going to be a really good use for this. It does blend into a carrier oil, but you are going to see some separation, and the oil itself might become a little cloudy because of the ethanol in the product. This bottle is fractionated coconut oil and the Cacao Absolute, and you can see the sort of cloudy, amber colored fractionated coconut oil, which is normally clear on its own, and then just a very small layer of the Absolute at the bottom of the bottle. I don't want that to deter you from using it in an oil blend, but you might want to consider using a smaller amount in there. And it does actually blend in with water, which isn't typical for most essential oils, but it does result in an extremely cloudy, cream-colored liquid. So a few drops of the cacao in water here is almost opaque. It almost looks like a colored cocoa butter, really. With this, you're mostly seeing the water and the ethanol blend together, and then some residues. You might see the Absolute itself starting to pull out of the water eventually. I haven't let this bottle or mixture sit long enough to see that happen yet, but we are looking at 3 different bases to use. Alcohol being the cleanest, providing you the clearest product. Oil being good, but you are seeing some separation of the Absolute, and then water is a good base too, but it also produces a cloudy product. If you're not concerned about that, or you're blending into an amber bottle, it might not matter. You could still make an amazing room or body spray using this Absolute. So with the cacao, again, it's a really rich, intoxicating oil. absolute, but it does have limited functionality when you're blending with it. It can be a little tricky to work with, so you might want to give yourself patience. It does make a great oil to put in diffuser blends, but I would recommend using either a diffuser that has a glass or ceramic reservoir and not adding it to something like some of the ultrasonic mist diffusers that are on the market that have a plastic reservoir for your water and oil. That's where it's really going to kind of start clinging to the plastic and becoming difficult to clean. Another great way to use this Absolute is we actually have a brand new blog out right now for a mint chocolate body butter, and it highlights the Cacao Absolute, cacao butter, and spearmint essential oil. I hope you find this new Absolute in our line interesting and decide to give it a try, and happy blending.